This is another 6-player progressive card game which is being played with public lobby master plus ranked players. And this time the Blizzard's made is that North American player could capture North America with only 2 borders to guard, while South American player could hold South America with only 1 border to guard after capturing it. Though it's progressive and continents don't as much matter as in fixed cards, but they could still be a great advantage for someone who captures a continent in the beginning of the game, especially if it's a big one like North America, so actually that wouldn't be really good if the white player got it early. Anyway, my plan in this game is simple. No South America, no win. I'm going to fight, well actually wipe out the black player from South America, so I would be receiving extra 2 troop bonus while totally ignoring a fact that the pink player has a big army next to me and actually could take South America from me once I wipe out the black player from it, losing lots of troops. So I'm just actually joking, as you might have guessed. And actually I wouldn't wipe out the black player from South America even if there wouldn't be a bigger army of another player near. I just don't think it would be worth it. But what can I do by building a bigger army on North Africa, is to potentially deter the black player from going for South America, as the black player wouldn't like to crush these 3 troops of blue when knowing after doing so I could just wipe her out from South America. So it's just to buy time. In one of the last games I lost because I wasn't really spread out, and when a bunch of players went for continents early, I was quite much weaker than anyone else. So this time I decided to change my tactics and actually try to prevent some players from capturing continents, at least in the beginning of the game. And also by building a bigger army on North Africa, I not only discourage the black player from capturing South America, but I also prevent the pink player from capturing Africa too. And while I kinda make it look that I want to fight for South America with black, the pink player probably doesn't take that much personally, because he probably thinks that my goal is to eventually wipe out the black player from South America, but not to prevent him from capturing Africa or contesting for it with him. And what my true goal actually is just to buy some time to prevent both black and pink from getting continents as long as possible, as otherwise I would be in quite disadvantage being no continent player while a lot of others would get continents early in the game. At least this was my plan, to stay on North Africa as long as possible. But after seeing the blue and white players so recklessly crushing other players in Australia and North America respectively, I decided to rather move out from Africa so the pink player wouldn't potentially do the same. And I mean, he was pointing out with his army into me, indicating that he would like that I would move out from Africa. And that's a smart way to show it, so I assume the pink player is probably a smart player, and probably he wouldn't have been dumb to actually take my army down and ruin the game for both of us, but I decided to move out anyway, as sometimes it could be risky with public lobby players even if you assume they're smart. Anyway, as you can see, the orange player has rage quit the game after seeing that he has very low chances to win. Though if I were him, then instead of destroying himself, I would have started stopping getting any cards, and with just having 1 card in total, I would have been putting my troops to 1 big army, preferably in the place which doesn't block an important way for others, so they wouldn't need to get through it crushing your troops when they would be taking another player out. Before the orange player self-destroying himself, my plan was to invade the pink player into Africa and fortify my army from it back, so he either wouldn't be receiving the continental troop bonuses or would have to properly guard all of his 3 borders, and with that reducing his troops' efficiency to take someone out. But after taking the orange player out, I was only 1 territory away from capturing Europe, so I switched my plan from invading the pink player to getting a continent for myself, especially when all of the other players captured continents as well, so in order to not get behind, it was the best for me to capture a continent as well, especially when all of my troops are into 1 place, making me a very easy target, so I've gotta get strong, so that wouldn't be that much worth to take me out. Right now my biggest worry is to not end up blocking my biggest army. I mean, I do not have many free territories to attack, and invading someone into a continent would result of getting invaded back. so not sure. Hopefully my opponents will attack some of these Asian territories of mine, as probably the only person I would be suitable to take out is blue, but then I could get blocked even from him. So actually in this turn I was thinking quite a bit on where I should relocate my army to, and I decided to fortify it to southern Europe next to pink, so my biggest army would be accessible towards the majority of the pink and black's troops, and to potentially to the blue player's biggest army too, with the pink player capturing Middle East but not leaving his army there. And with the pink player fortifying his army back, this is what actually happened. But unfortunate thing is that the blue player doesn't capture any of those Asian territories of mine. He is very smart to keep me as much blocked as possible and wants to force me to make my army even more blocked. I think he leaves his secondary army on Siberia for a reason. So props to him for a smart play. And now I was wondering whether I should actually take the white player for 5 cards, and at the end I decided not to, as because me needing to take his 49 troops down I will have also needed to take the Asian army of the black player too, while the set's value is at 30 troops, meaning that despite it being a low value, that wouldn't have been enough troops for the black player's South American army. And then with me being left not as strong, I would have probably been taken out next myself. But let me know what do you think on that, whether it was a mistake or not, and what you would have done in that case if you were me. Anyway, differently from me, it looks like the pink player was suitable to take 2 players out in the same turn. His troops weren't blocked, and with him getting an attacker's advantage everything went extremely well for him from what I can say. And he might be the winner of the game. Well, actually I think it mostly depends on the black player. I think if she is fast enough, then she could take the black player out. Or if she captures a bunch of the pink player's territories, then the opportunity might come for me depending on how many troops of the pink player I have to take down. And alright, the black player actually blocks the pink player from me. But I mean, probably it wouldn't be very reasonable to try taking the pink player out even if these 2 North American territories wouldn't have been blocked from me. But who knows? I mean, if the black player captured some more territories of the pink player and without making him blocked from me, then I think I would have tried taking the pink player out, as probably it would have been the last chance for me to win anyway. But with that not being the case, I just simply decided to start one carding, as otherwise with those players being quite stronger than me and having the card's advantage to trade in the next sets before me too, that would have been very obvious that I will be the next player to get taken out. So my best shot is to stay at one card and hope one of the players makes a very major mistake. But with the black player actually not being aggressive towards pink and letting him have all of those territories, I think the pink player is definitely a winner of this game now after taking the black player out for her 3 cards. Well-deserved victory by pink, and for a good sportsmanship I think I just have to surrender to not waste his time, as the odds of me winning this game are literally 0 right now. If you enjoyed watching this game, then I would recommend you watching this one as well. That's another interesting 6-player progressive card game.